Hello. Today's discussion, the buck stops there with you. Harry Truman was our 33rd president from 1945 to 1953, and on his desk was a sign that read, "The buck stops here," meaning that he was not going to pass the blame or the responsibility to anyone. Ultimately, anything that happened was his responsibility. Since 2014, I am not aware of anybody that has accepted any part of the blame or responsibility for the colossal failure that is the New York City Correction Department. No one from City Hall, no one from the City Council, no commissioner, no deputy commissioner, no federal monitor. However, if the department was successful, they would have all been praising themselves and taking all the credit. But instead, they continue to pass blame to others. Now, last week, there was an article in a chief newspaper, and it was regarding the court order issued by the judge that will allow the department and New York City to hire 5 civilians to replace uniformed wardens. Now, let me remind you, that court order was requested by New York City and by the Correction Department. That was not forced on them. The city and the department requested that order so they could hire the civilians instead of promoting uniformed deputy wardens to the rank of warden. Now, let's get some takeaways from that chief article. Number one, it stated that the order said that the city can hire 5 people and the title will be facility supervisor. And like I said, those people will replace uniformed wardens. Secondly, the judge noted the federal monitor's report that said that DOC supervisors fall short of keeping order in New York City jails. Now, I find that very ironic because since 2014, many of the tools necessary to keep order have been taken away from the Correction Department. Next, the judge stated that her overriding reason for issuing this order was the lack of robust supervision in the jails. Next, the monitor said that facility leaders has been proven to lack the ability to implement the required reforms from the Nunez consent judgment. And lastly, the article states that New York City is planning to hire the best people, the most qualified, and the most competent. Now, because they claim that the people they hire to replace the uniform chiefs and the uniform wardens, because they claim they are the best, I say, instead of just telling correction officers and correction supervisors what to do, why don't you show them what to do and how to do it? Why don't you put on a correction officer uniform with the correction officer shield or a supervisor's white shirt with a supervisor's shield? And why don't you report to Rikers Island jails and work the housing areas? And why don't you show the uniformed force what to do and how to do it? Don't just tell them. Show them. Show them how to protect the incarcerated population in New York City custody. Show them how to defend themselves without using force. Enlighten them. Show them how to prevent suicides. Show them how to deal with a detainee that covers the inside cell window on his cell door that prevents correction officers from seeing inside when they're making their tours. Show them how to ensure that all the incarcerated persons use the free phone provided by the city to make phone calls, but yet the gangs control the phones through fear and intimidation. Show them how we can get all the detainees to use the phone. Enlighten them. Show them how to de-escalate a violent situation that involves multiple combatants with weapons. Show them how to keep order in the jails. Show the supervisory ranks how to supervise robustly. And show the correction officers, the correction supervisors, and the correction wardens. Show them how to gain compliance with the Nunez consent judgment. Now, I only asked you this because you are the best, and because you are the most qualified, and because you are the most competent, and because, in effect, you are the correction experts. Show the judge that she made the right decision by issuing this order. Now, can you perform the duties that you're asking correction officers to perform? Can you reach the goals and objectives that you're requiring the correction supervisors to reach under these unrealistic policies and unreasonable conditions? Can you do what you're asking them to do? I say no, you can't. And unless you address the root causes of the problem, the fact that the city has relinquished control to the gang members, the fact that the city has relinquished their legal authority, the fact that the incarcerated persons are not held accountable for their rule violations and or their criminal behavior, the fact that there's failed policies, all of this has led to lawlessness and anarchy. If you don't address those root causes of the problem, then in 2023, you can expect to continue to have hundreds of slashings, thousands of assaults on correction officers, and thousands of uses of force. Is there any one of you that will put that sign on your desk that reads, "The buck stops here"?